friends, and welcome to Knitting at the Boxerville Homestead. My name's Carol, and I come to you from the Pacific Northwest, north of Seattle, Washington. Today is, I have to look and see, I think it is, what is today? January 27th. It's Friday afternoon, and it's dry, kind of cloudy, mid-40s. We've actually had a really super mild winter here. I know you hear it rains always in Seattle, but I don't know. That's kind of an untruth. There are areas, my husband's actually from the coast, and they do get a lot of rain there, like a lot of rain, which is why he moved over here when he was 18, thankfully, because that's how I met him. Just a brief on us, I'm a nurse, and we have done boxer rescue since 1989. You'll probably see Sophie and Chance maybe come in and out. Sophie usually is in my chair wherever I sit. She was used as a breeder in California and at a very young age and bred continuously from what it appeared, and was on the euthanized list, and we got her out the night before they were going to put her down. She was in medical. She does have a lot of medical issues, but I mean, she truly is a mess, but you know what? She's our mess, and we love her. And Chance, we actually know his birth date. He was an owner surrender to a veterinarian that we had worked with in rescue. And the people that had him brought him in to have him euthanized at 1 year of age. They said that he had separation anxiety so bad that they didn't feel that he would be a good fit for the family or anyone else. So we have had him. Chance is going to be 8, so going on 7 years in June. Yeah, June. So I guess that's kind of a synopsis of where the Boxerville comes from. We live in the country on 5 acres, down to just one chicken, Bernadette, who gets bacon from Costco in the bag every afternoon when John gets home from work. We also have a resident deer here, and we think it's her boyfriend. We've watched since she was born as a fawn. Her mother, Jane Doe, which we called her because I'm an ER nurse, so Jane Doe, brought her to us, and Hazel is her name. My husband named her, and she comes every day for apples and pears. In the summer, we have a lot of fruit, so she pretty much rapes all of our raspberries, blueberries, apples. She's not a fan of the peaches. She annihilated my beans year before last. I had to replant those because I do a large amount of preserving canning every year. So this year we planted some just for her and put a fence around the garden so that she couldn't get in and destroy the beans. And what else does she like? She really likes beans. Peas, oh my gosh, yes. But our boxers do too. And we let them just eat them because, for one thing, it's so cute and they love them. And it's a vegetable. It has to be good for them, right? Anyway, knitting. I have a show notes. Funny story is, I filmed this yesterday. Cut my head off. Whole thing. It's actually was hilarious. I found myself very funny. Yeah, it was like this much gone. What do you do? I am drinking an old-fashioned tea that's been around forever, Constant Comment. Normally I have Christmas in Paris, but today I just wanted a little bit of spice. So it is still an oldie, but a goodie. I like it. Ooh, and it was very hot. So let's see. I thought to begin with, I would just kind of start about my plans for like maybe the first third of the year, 4 months or so. Oh, and my husband and I, John, who I spoke of, we just celebrated our 33rd wedding anniversary. And this is our wedding picture. Oh my gosh, we were kids, right? We really weren't kids. We were, oops, that's dark screen. We were not necessarily kids. We were 25 and 26. Actually, both of us almost 26 and 27. Gives you an idea how old we are now. But yeah, that's us a long time ago. Anyway, what I'm thinking about knitting, one of the things I actually have is I've been watching, as I Amber from a lovely yarn. I'm sure I mention her every time. She probably thinks I stalk her. I just really, really admire her a lot. She talked about doing, and she is doing it now, and like a wild man, she is on fire with it. I just watched her latest podcast. She's not necessarily doing the garter squish. This is a pattern similar to the one that Molly did from a homespun house. Is that what it's called? This is Stephen West garter squish, and it's a free pattern. And who doesn't have tons of scrap yarn? Holy cow, right? I've been knitting since I was a kid. Not heavily through my teen years because, you know, in early 20s, but after that, in the last probably 25 years, just I go nowhere without knitting in my hands. Around my home, just looking here in the living room, there are just baskets of knitting, baskets of fiber. My wheel, Hope, is right here. I don't know if she's in frame, but anyway, thinking about doing this, and I love the idea of what she did by getting just a base undyed yarn and knitting it with each one. Hers is turning out beautiful, and I'm sure the few people that actually may see this have already watched Amber's A Lovely Yarn, but I will link it down below. It's amazing. Podcast. She is a talented knitter. She's just a good woman, you know? Anyway, this I am really thinking about gathering up, and I'm gonna have to, actually, I don't think I have any base yarn. That is a super wash, which I would prefer to use. I know I have base that's raw. Anyway, this is one of the things. I have a couple of sweaters that I'm really interested in. Actually, there's three. One of them is the Felix pullover by Amy Christophers. I've tried this thing 3 times now, maybe 4. It could be even more than that. Who knows? Like I said, I have been a knitter a long time. I have knit some very difficult color work, not difficult, but intricate, and I love it. I don't know what's going on here. I've ripped this out 3 or 4 times. I cannot get that beautiful detail on each side to line up. I am using a Madeline Tosh in the colorway Sugar Plum. It's a Tosh chunky. It is a superwash merino. And like I said, colorway is Sugar Plum. I love the color. I think with my complexion, it's gonna be a nice color. Holy cow, any tips? What am I doing wrong? I'm guessing it has to be, I don't believe it's the wrap and turns, but I usually don't do a wrap and turn. I usually do German short rows, and maybe that's what I should do because that is what I am comfortable with. I prefer the look of it, but I thought I'm just going to follow the pattern. Obviously that's not working. Maybe I'll give the German short rows a try. Has anyone else done that? Knit this and did the German short rows instead of just the regular wrap and turns? I'd be curious to know. Anyway, that's one of them. Then I am kind of stuck. Now I have this Heather Prime alpaca, spun in Peru, grown in the Andes. It is a super fine alpaca, a DK weight, and it's beautiful. The color is 205. I have like 2,000 yards of this, and it is to me one of the most beautiful colors ever. I've had it a long time, and I've just been waiting for the right garment, I guess. And there's 2 that I really like, actually probably 3 that I would consider for this. One of them is a very well-known one. It's the Caramel Sweater by Petite Knits. And it is almost the same color. Oops, wrong one. That's what I'm wearing. Very, very close in color. Oh, this one's a little more gold. That might have a little bit more rust, but it's hard to say with the lighting. I love the turtleneck. It's casual, but it's very classic, which is a style that I really like. The detail here, the rolled neck, I really, really love. So that is one. The other one is two of them actually by Espace Tricot. I'm not really sure how to say that, Espace Tricot. The patterns that they offer, I don't know who it is, but the patterns that are offered, they're free. And there are some really beautiful, beautiful designs. I really like this little open striped, but that's not actually the one, although it went to it. The gingerbread sweater is one that I really, really like. Again, it's classic, raglan, top down, super simple, very similar to a lot of other very popular knits right now that are paid for, and I don't have a problem, and I actually appreciate, and as far as doing a paid for pattern, I have a lot, trust me. But I also like a free pattern once in a while too. And we all need to watch our budget, right? So gingerbread sweater, Space Tricot, it's one that I really like for that yarn as well. Again, I have tons of it. I have almost 2,000 yards. And this one is called the Classic. This to me is quite similar to the caramel sweater by Petite Knits, other than the collar. I mean, I could knit the collar higher and do a fold over and it would probably look very similar. I bought a lot of Petite Knits patterns. She does beautiful work and they are so well written. So those are the sweaters that I am really kicking around with this yarn. I love it. I love the feel of it. I know with it being alpaca, it's gonna drape, which again, a look like this, I think would, with the drape, would look great with jeans, with over a dress, over a skirt, dress it up, dress it down. And like I said, I've been hanging on to this for years. I bet you I've had this at least 5 or 6 years, maybe, yeah, probably 5 or 6 years, maybe a little bit longer. I love it. I guess what I'm wearing, and some may recognize it, it is a really old, let's see if I can find it, an old pattern. I should have, 2013 is when I knit this, so 9 years ago. No, 10 years ago this year. Anyway, it's called the Hitchhiker. This was one of our boxers at the time, and this is on my Ravelry page. Her name was Chloe with a K. She was amazing. Another one used as a breeder. Anyway, this is the Hitchhiker by Martina Bunn, who was on fire for quite some time with patterns, beautiful shawl designs. I believe I knit a couple of different ones of hers. I would have to look. Anyway, that's what this is, the Hitchhiker. I usually just kind of do it in the fall, but this morning I was chilly when I came downstairs and I thought, matches, looks great. Okay, things that I'm working on. I have a dear friend. She's also a nurse, younger than myself. She's late 30s, and she's having her kids a little bit later. Well, the oldest one is 7, going to be 8. Then she has Rip, who is 18 months old, maybe barely, and she literally just had baby Faya. So knitting for baby Faya now. Now this gal's totally knit worthy. She still has the things that I knit for her oldest daughter, and some of the hats that were gender neutral because her middle child is a son. She put on him. And now that she has a little girl, she's been sending me pictures of the things that I knit for Rowan, the oldest child, that she has on Faya. Doesn't that just warm a knitter's heart? Oh, just gives me, that's knit worthy to me. And she will hold on to these things. I know a lot of things that I've knit over the years. And given, you know, when you give it, you just have to let it go, that you never hear or see if they put it on the child. So when they do, boy, I tell you what, I'll pick up the needles and really knit for them again. So I am doing, one of the little hats for Faya is the Woodland Elf Winter Hat. And this is by Colette Grace. I've knit this many times. It's super simple, but just super, super cute. And they look so darling in it with that little pointed elf kind of hat look to it. I love it. Their little round faces in it. It's just so cute. And did I not bring it in here? Guess what? I didn't. It's out in the other room where I sit. I am knitting it out of Lion Brand Hometown in the color, what was it? Something oat, maybe? It is a super bulky, so it goes super fast. Oh, Aspen Tweed. So it does have a tweedy look to it. And I left it, like I said, in the other room. I'm pretty slick that way. Anyway, it's super soft. It can get thrown in the wash. I figure I really don't like to necessarily, I mean, I'm not a yarn snob, but there's something about the feel when it has acrylic in it. It's just different. But I know for a new mom who has 2 kids that are like 18 months and younger, I don't even think Rip is that old yet. He won't be 2 until September. So yeah, he's not. He's probably 16 months old, maybe 7. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine having him that close. She's a busy gal. Anyways, that is going to be the Woodland Elf Winter Hat for baby Faya. And it's by Colette Grace, and I will link it in the bottom. I have a couple of other little baby hats. This is a very recognizable one, I would think. I mean, I don't know how popular, anyway, Tin Can Knits. This is the Beloved hat. It is a paid for pattern. Oh, the Woodland Elf is a free pattern. This is a paid for pattern. I have knit this so many times, I can't even tell you. This is in Knit Picks. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Knit Picks. Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, it I-cord edge, you start out, knit up, knit this way, and then knit back down again, the decreases. I love how it has the little point, cups their little head, but it tucks in nice on their neck to keep them warm. I'm knitting another one of these, and I actually left it with the other hat out there too. I'm on fire today. People, this is me on a regular basis though. I am all over the place. It's normal. And I'll probably drive some people crazy, but this is me. I'm sure if you were to look on the dictionary page for ADHD, my picture would be there. I think that's why being an ER nurse for me works so well. I did critical care years ago, cardiac, and boy, having to do the same thing over and over again every day, that was really tough, even as a young woman, as a young nurse. So I've done ER now for 21 years, I guess, in the ER now, and 22 years actually this year. I keep forgetting it's 2023. Doesn't matter, a long time. And that fits my personality better because it's changing all the time. It's something new, and it keeps my squirrely head, like, I focus better that way, which is why I have 10,000 things going at once. I do lose interest in some things quickly, but anyway, Beloved by Tin Can Knits. I've knit it many times. It's a paid for pattern. I don't remember how much it is. It seemed like it was really inexpensive. And I know for as many times as I've knit it, it's probably cost me $10 a hat. I really have probably knit it, oh my gosh, 10 times at least, maybe more. It's so fast and it's such a fun knit. Anyway, I totally recommend it. Okay, socks. I have been knitting these socks, and they are called Life is Better. Life is Better? Yeah, Life's Better When Camping. It's a paid-for pattern by, it's Sarah L. Kelly, but also Gray Owl Knits. And this is the Ravelry page of hers and the colors. And are they not the cutest things in the whole wide world? Oh my gosh, because we are total campers. We have a fifth, well, we glamp, how's that? We have a fifth wheel and we camp a lot. Not, it's harder to get into now. Now, John and I have camped since before we were married. I actually have a picture somewhere. One time he took me, the first time, in a tent. And nothing against it if that's something that's, you know, in your wheelhouse. Not in mine. One time we went, and I loved the part of camping, but I said, you ever take me again? And we're going to have a trailer. And we've had a trailer ever since. And that was probably like 1980. Oh my gosh, 7 or 8 when we bought our first trailer. Probably. Yeah, probably. Anyway, now we have a fifth wheel. And we camp a lot. It's not as easy now, though. It seemed like since COVID, a lot of you are camping now, and you're taking up the camping sites, and we're having a harder time getting in. So go back to flying and take it off, because we want to go camping. And truly, around here, the Pacific Northwest, we are probably 2.5 hours from the ocean. Some of the most amazing, beautiful. The coast is amazing. I love it. I just love it. The smell of the salt water, the beach. I have a little pop-up shelter I'll put down there, watch my dogs run and play with my husband, have a glass of wine, knit. Oh, it's like heaven. To me it is. So anyway, these socks, I am knitting them in Spun Chloe. They're sock something. Hate the yarn. Hate it. Splits continuously. I like the colors and all, but I would never buy it again. And probably some people have had good luck with it. I don't like it. I just don't flat like it. I like the socks. Anyway, so obviously brown. These are the white or cream is the little mountains and the green trees. I chose an aqua color for my trailer. I'm gonna do, well, I did both heels in the color of the mountain or the snow on the mountains. And now I'm on that slog part of the feet. The tents I did in orange. And I'm doing 2 at a time for a reason, because I knew I would get to the foot and I would be, not wanting maybe to finish it or start the other. So I am going 2 at a time. The plan is I'm gonna do this pattern down here, and then on the orange tent, I'm gonna use the aqua for the toe. And then on the aqua trailer, I'm gonna use the orange for the toe. So they're kind of opposite. The pattern is so beautifully written. The charting is amazing. It's the first thing I've ever knit of hers, but wow, she is a talented lady. She has an RV one actually, and my sister actually has an RV. So I was thinking about maybe getting that and doing her the RV ones. Fun knit, highly recommend it. Paid for pattern. Can't remember how much it was. Seemed like it was $6 maybe. Let's look since I'm right here on it. Yeah, well, $6 Canadian. So US, it's going to be less. I'm not really sure how much the exchange is right now, but I'm guessing, oh, $4.70. So great deal for the pattern, well written. Totally recommend it. Can't wait to wear these actually. I need to get them done. I just need to finish that foot. You know, like I said, brown and just knitting brown for one thing, my eyes, it's hard to see. I have to have good light. And it's boring as heck. Totally boring. All right, so sister, what else? And the tongue is normal. There's nothing wrong with her. She has a super long tongue. She was obviously very poor bred herself. but because she's white and small, I guess that's very attractive down in Southern California, a lot of areas. The rescue that we work with, we've pulled a lot of dogs from down there, and sadly we can't pull them all because fostering is what saves lives. And I mean, over the years we've had 13. This is Chance's number 11 and she is number 13. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. That's why I just really preach, adopt, please don't shop. I know often quite a few of the podcasters will say what they're reading. Now, I can't read and knit, and if I'm going to sit, I'm going to knit. So I listen to audiobooks. I am at the very end of Golden Girl by, I don't know if it's Ellen or Elin Hildebrand. I've listened to several of her books, and I kind of like how you have to wait to the end sometimes really to get who did what, which I am right now as far as who ran over Vivi, the author. And I have on dock The Starless Sea. I've downloaded it through the library, which is mostly how I do my books. We have Snow Isle Library here in the Pacific Northwest, and I just check out books via them, audiobooks, and some have to be put on hold for a while, but it's okay. I mean, there's so many more that I want to listen to, and I always have plenty in my queue. The only other thing I wanted to do was say thank you to Holly, who has commented on my last video twice. You totally made my day, girl. I'm not kidding you. Totally made it. I really appreciate it, and sincere thank you to you. Otherwise, I guess that is it. I don't really have anything else. I mean, I have a lot, but I don't want to overwhelm the few people that watch it with me the first few times. So I would love it if you would like and subscribe and share, as everyone says, but I know that's how you get out there, and so I am asking you to do so. I'm just tickled to pieces if you do watch, and please comment. I would love to interact back and forth. If anybody has any suggestions on that Felix sweater, the pullover, oh my gosh, if there's anything you can think of that I'm doing wrong, I should have taken pictures of what it looked like. I'm just stymied. Anyway, I wish you well. Have a great weekend. Like I said, here it is a Friday. My husband and I are actually going to a casino this evening because they have I don't know if it's called a cover band, but it's a band and they play Def Leppard music. Yes, we are, high school, graduated early, class of 82. So we went through that whole rock stage, and a lot of it still is in our soul. And I guess that's it. So I, again, say a goodwill to all of you, and I will be back in a week. I'm hoping to do this every Friday, and then probably upload on Saturday mornings. It's kind of my plan. We'll see. You never know. Okay, take care, and remember, please adopt, don't shop. Save your best friend's life.